You might think your bladder problems are just part of getting older. But what if I told you the way you're sleeping is actually putting pressure on your bladder all night long? It's not your water intake, it's not your age, and it's definitely not something your doctor warned you about. In this video, we're revealing the one sleep position that silently increases nighttime urgency, and the easy 10-second fix that's giving thousands of seniors deeper, uninterrupted sleep. You know that feeling. You've just fallen asleep, only to be jolted awake by the urge to go to the bathroom, again and again. For many seniors, this becomes a nightly ritual. But here's the part that most people miss. It might not be your bladder's fault. It might be your position. As we age, the muscles around the bladder naturally weaken. The pelvic floor loses tone. The bladder itself becomes more sensitive to pressure. Even a little extra push from the wrong angle can trigger the urge to go. And while most seniors assume it's about how much water they drank or some unavoidable sign of aging, the truth is more specific. It's often how they're lying in bed. Sleeping in certain positions can increase intra-abdominal pressure, the amount of force pressing down on the bladder from surrounding organs and tissues. This is especially true for those who sleep curled up, on their stomachs, or with poor spinal alignment. The result? Your bladder thinks it's fuller than it is, sends the signal, and wakes you up, even when it doesn't need to. This isn't just a theory. Sleep specialists and urologists have started paying close attention to how body mechanics during rest affect nocturia, the medical term for nighttime urination. They're finding that posture during sleep may be just as important as diet, hydration, or medication when it comes to bladder control. One overlooked reason is gravity. When you're lying flat, gravity redistributes fluid in your body. That's normal. But if you're also compressing your lower abdomen, like many people do when sleeping in the fetal position or lying face down, you're creating a mechanical push against your bladder. And if your mattress or pillow doesn't support your spine and hips well, that compression becomes even worse. And get this, many people who sleep in a twisted position also end up tightening their core unconsciously while asleep, further increasing that bladder pressure. It's like your body is squeezing your bladder gently but constantly throughout the night. No wonder it's waking you up. The most frustrating part? Most doctors never mention this. They focus on medication, diet changes, or simply chalk it up to aging. But rarely does anyone ask, how do you sleep? And yet, this is the one factor that's easy to test and free to fix. In the next section, we're going to break down the worst sleep position for bladder pressure, why it's so common, and how a simple change in angle can help your bladder relax and let you sleep through the night. Let's get straight to it. The single worst sleep position for your bladder, especially after age 60, is sleeping on your stomach. Now, you might be thinking, but I've always slept this way. Or maybe it feels like the only way your body fully relaxes. But here's what actually happens when you lie flat on your belly. Your full body weight presses directly into your abdominal cavity. That includes your intestines, your internal organs, and yes, your bladder. The problem is pressure. Unlike bones, which are rigid, your bladder is like a soft balloon. When you sleep on your stomach, the pressure from your torso compresses it from above. Add in the fact that most stomach sleepers turn their heads to one side, twist their hips, and often bend one leg for balance. And now you've got a full body squeeze happening unconsciously, for hours. And remember, at night your kidneys are still filtering fluids. That means your bladder is slowly filling, even while you're asleep. So what started as a partially full bladder turns into a compressed, overstimulated organ that suddenly sends an urgent signal. Wake up. Time to go. Now here's the kicker. Stomach sleeping is incredibly common in people who deal with chronic tension or anxiety. It feels like the body is curling into itself for safety, but at a cost. Especially for seniors whose pelvic floor muscles aren't as strong as they once were, even small increases in pressure can trigger bladder spasms, urgency, and that nagging need to get up again. You may also experience something sneakier, incomplete emptying. When your bladder is under pressure, it may not empty fully during your nighttime bathroom trips. That means you'll likely be back up again within an hour or two. It becomes a frustrating cycle that never really ends. Now here's the part nobody tells you. Even if you're not sleeping directly on your stomach, certain side positions can mimic the same effect. For example, if you're curled tightly in the fetal position, your knees drawn up and your chest hunched forward, you're still putting pressure into your lower abdomen. You're still compressing the bladder, just from a slightly different angle. And the problem is made worse by common sleep setups. Too soft mattresses that let your hips sink, overstuffed pillows that throw your spine out of alignment, or even body pillows that cause you to hunch forward. All of them can exaggerate bladder compression without you realizing it. But don't worry, you're not stuck. In the next section, we'll show you the sleep position that releases bladder pressure, how to align your body for maximum nighttime relief, and the tiny adjustment that's already helping thousands of seniors sleep deeper, longer, and more peacefully, often after just one night. If sleeping on your stomach is the worst for bladder pressure, the best, it's sleeping on your side, but with a very specific setup, one that creates spinal neutrality, pelvic alignment, and zero compression on the lower abdomen. Urologists and sleep specialists recommend a modified side-lying position, often referred to as the semi-fetal with hip support posture. That may sound clinical, but here's what it really means. You're lying on your side, not curled up, not twisted, with a pillow placed between your knees and a slight elevation under your upper arm or chest to prevent forward collapse. The spine stays in line, the hips stay level, and the bladder completely unpressurized. Why does this work so well? When you're in this position, your abdominal cavity opens up. Instead of compressing your bladder, your internal organs gently settle with gravity. Your spine isn't pulling your pelvic floor into tension. Your hip joints aren't torquing or twisting. And best of all, your body enters a true resting state. Clinical studies on nocturia, the need to urinate at night, have found that seniors sleeping in aligned side positions report fewer bathroom trips, longer sleep cycles, and less urgency upon waking. In fact, one small sleep clinic trial found that simply placing a pillow between the knees improved bladder comfort in 3 out of 4 senior participants after just one night. But here's something most people miss. It's not just the position, it's the support. You can't just flip to your side and expect everything to change. If your knees are touching, your pelvis rotates. If your top shoulder caves forward, your lower back gets compressed. That's why the right pillow placement is key. Try this. Lie on your left side, place a soft pillow between your knees to keep the hips level, and rest your top arm on a folded towel or small pillow. This relieves pressure from the torso, stabilizes the spine, and creates a neutral posture that minimizes bladder stimulation. Why the left side? Some seniors report better results on the left due to how the digestive system rests. The stomach and colon curve that way, creating more abdominal space. However, both sides can work. It depends on what feels best for your body. And let's not forget breathing. When your spine is aligned and your chest isn't compressed, your breathing slows, your nervous system relaxes, and your bladder, which is also under nervous system control, becomes less sensitive. That's the part nobody talks about. Bladder urgency often begins in the brain, not the bladder. Making this small change may not seem like much, but it can mean the difference between waking up 3 times and waking up refreshed. It's not a cure, but it's a highly effective, low-effort adjustment that can stack the odds in your favor. And now that you know the ideal position, let's talk about what not to do. In the next section, we'll go over the common mistakes that seniors make while side sleeping, why these errors cancel out the benefits, and how to correct them in under 30 seconds using only items you already have at home. So, you've adjusted your position. You're sleeping on your side, pillow between your knees, spine aligned, but then you still wake up at 2 a.m. needing to pee. What gives? Here's the truth. Even when you're in the right position, a few small mistakes can completely undo the benefits, especially when it comes to bladder comfort and overnight relief. Let's start with the first one, letting your top shoulder collapse forward. This is incredibly common. You lie down on your side, get comfortable, and as you drift off, your top shoulder caves in and pulls your upper body into a curled, slightly twisted shape. It might feel cozy, but what's actually happening is your ribcage compresses downward, your abs tighten subconsciously, and you start pressing down on, you guessed it, your bladder. This small, unconscious movement reintroduces abdominal pressure and often leads to that familiar middle-of-the-night urgency. The second mistake, no support under the knees or hips. When your knees are touching and there's no pillow between them, your top leg usually slips forward. This twists your pelvis and spine, creating tension in the lower abdomen and often irritating the bladder nerves. You might not notice this right away, but within 30 to 60 minutes, your bladder does. And it starts signaling discomfort. The solution is simple. Even a small pillow or rolled-up towel between the knees can prevent this twist, reduce nerve tension, and protect your bladder's rest. And mistake number 3 is sneaky, sleeping on the edge of too soft or saggy mattresses. A lot of seniors instinctively sleep closer to the edge of the bed, especially if they expect to get up frequently during the night. But here's what happens. On most mattresses, the edge has the most give. Your hips and torso sink lower, pulling your spine out of alignment and angling your abdomen downward. That downward slope creates a kind of passive squeeze on the bladder, especially if your pillow is too tall or your top arm is pressing downward. Over time, this can lead to frequent wake-ups, poor sleep quality, and even daytime fatigue. Now here's the encouraging part. These mistakes are easy to fix. You don't need a new mattress or fancy equipment. A basic pillow between your knees, a rolled towel to hug under your top arm. Even shifting a few inches away from the edge of the bed can restore balance to your posture and take the pressure off your bladder. And here's a bonus insight most people never consider. Your body remembers positions. If you spend years sleeping in a way that compresses your bladder, your nervous system adapts to wake you up faster, even before the bladder is full. But the good news? You can retrain it. Gentle, consistent nightly alignment helps reset that signal over time. In the next section, we'll take things even further, revealing a bedtime bladder release trick you can do before you lie down. It takes under a minute, helps your bladder relax fully, and is now being used in some of the most forward-thinking urology clinics as part of a natural solution for nighttime urgency. What if there were a simple 1-minute technique you could do before bed? No pills, no stretching, no equipment, that helps your bladder fully relax and reduces your chances of waking up in the middle of the night. Turns out there is, and it's rooted in how your body's nervous system and pelvic muscles work together. It's called the bladder drop and relax method, and urologists have recently started recommending it as a natural pre-sleep ritual, especially for seniors struggling with nighttime urgency. Here's how it works. Before you get into bed, find a quiet spot where you can stand or sit comfortably. Now take a deep breath in, filling your belly, not your chest. As you exhale slowly, let your belly soften, not tighten. Imagine you're gently dropping your lower abdomen, letting it hang loose. Most people are surprised by how much tension they hold here without even realizing it. That tension often compresses the bladder and triggers false signals that feel like urgency, even when the bladder isn't full. Now, while keeping your lower belly relaxed, contract your pelvic floor muscles very gently, just for 2 to 3 seconds. Not a hard squeeze, just a soft lift, like you're gently stopping the flow of urine. Then release. Do this 3 to 5 times, in sync with your breathing. Each time, aim to lift gently and relax fully. What you're doing is activating the neuromuscular loop between your bladder and brain, sending the message, we're calm, we're in control, and it's okay to rest. Over time, this trains your body to hold more comfortably overnight and reduces false alarm wake-ups. This trick works best right before lying down. Some seniors even do it after that last bathroom trip before bed to make sure their bladder's fully emptied and relaxed. Others find it helpful during nighttime wake-ups, a quick reset that helps them fall back asleep faster. And here's the science. Researchers studying behavioral interventions for Nocturia found that combining deep breathing, pelvic floor awareness, and posture awareness helped reduce nighttime bathroom trips by up to 40% in older adults, especially those who weren't responding well to medication alone. It's not magic, but it is a simple, side effect-free strategy that taps into your body's natural control system. When combined with the right sleep position, it creates a powerful buffer against the constant interruptions of bladder pressure. Now imagine putting it all together, the right position, the small adjustments, and this 1-minute reset before bed. It starts to stack in your favor. Fewer wake-ups, deeper sleep, more energy in the morning. But what happens next? In the following section, we'll explore how your evening routine may be secretly sabotaging your bladder health, the top mistakes seniors make after dinner, and what to avoid in the final 90 minutes before sleep if you want real, lasting relief. You've got the right sleep position. You've added the 60-second bladder reset to your routine. But if your evenings are filled with hidden bladder triggers, all that effort can still be undone. The truth is, most seniors unknowingly overstimulate their bladders in the final 90 minutes before bed, not because they're doing anything wrong, but because certain habits seem harmless, until they start disrupting sleep night after night. Let's start with the most common one: sipping on healthy herbal teas late in the evening. Chamomile, peppermint, hibiscus. They're soothing, yes, but they're also natural diuretics, meaning they encourage the body to produce more urine. Even just half a cup an hour before bed can prime your bladder to fill faster while you sleep. If you're sensitive, that extra fluid load hits your system right around 1 or 2 a.m. And it's not just tea. Another major culprit? Hidden caffeine sources. Many seniors are aware that coffee can be a problem, but few realize that decaf still contains small amounts of caffeine, enough to irritate a sensitive bladder. And let's not forget chocolate, dark cocoa powders, even some protein shakes and fiber drinks marketed for digestion, all of which can quietly rev up bladder activity. Then there's screen time. Yes, your phone, tablet, or TV can affect more than just your melatonin. The blue light they emit stimulates the brain, yes, but it also triggers your sympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for alertness and bladder signaling. If you're watching the news, scrolling through social media, or reading something intense right before bed, you might be unknowingly keeping your body in a mild state of fight or flight. And that tension doesn't just keep your brain awake, It can keep your bladder overactive too. Another overlooked habit? Late night snacking with salty or acidic foods. Even something as simple as a few crackers, pickles, or citrus slices can change the pH of your urine, irritating the lining of your bladder and making it more sensitive. That irritation sends urgency signals to the brain, even when your bladder isn't close to full. And lastly, and this surprises many people, going to the bathroom just in case before bed, even when you don't really have to go, can actually train your bladder to become less tolerant over time. It teaches your brain to respond to smaller and smaller volumes, which means more frequent wake-ups, not fewer. So what should your evenings look like instead? Ideally, stop fluid intake about 90 minutes before bed. If you're thirsty, sip a small amount of room temperature water, not cold. Avoid known irritants like caffeine, chocolate, alcohol, and acidic snacks. And give your brain a gentle wind down. Dim lights, soothing music, and no stressful or dramatic TV. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of calm, screen-free quiet time before bed can signal your nervous system to slow down, which includes calming the bladder. These aren't rules, they're options. And the more of them you layer in, the better your sleep tends to get. You don't need perfection, you just need patterns your body can rely on. Coming up next, a real senior success story. Someone who went from 4 wake-ups a night to sleeping straight through, all without medications, surgeries, or drastic lifestyle changes. You'll hear exactly what she changed and how her nights and mornings transformed in just a few weeks. Meet Judith. She's 74, sharp-minded, full of life, and fiercely independent. But for the past 5 years, she had one issue she couldn't solve: waking up almost every 2 hours to use the bathroom. Her days were fine, but her nights? A cycle of half-sleep, anxiety, and exhaustion. She tried cutting fluids after 7 p.m. She tried herbal teas, magnesium, even adult pads. Nothing worked. Worse, her doctor said, "That's just part of getting older." But Judith refused to accept that. She was tired of feeling tired. And more than anything, she missed waking up clear-headed and energized, not foggy and frustrated. Then one day she stumbled onto a video, not about medications, not about bladder training, but about posture. Specifically how her sleep position might be silently pressing into her bladder and keeping her from reaching deep sleep. Skeptical but curious, she decided to try it. She swapped her old pillow for one that supported her neck and knees. She shifted from her usual stomach curl to a gentle left-side sleep with a pillow between her legs. It felt awkward at first, but after 3 nights, something changed. She still woke up, but only once. The next week she added in the 60-second bladder release technique before bed. Breathing, relaxing her belly, letting go of tension she didn't even know she was holding. Suddenly, a full night of sleep wasn't just a memory. It was happening again. She started dreaming again. Her blood pressure improved, her digestion improved, and most surprisingly, her mood changed. Judith described it as a return to herself. No more dragging through the day or snapping at small things. She had energy again, patience, joy, and she never took a single pill. Now, Judith keeps a short nightly routine. She winds down with soft music instead of the news. She drinks a little chamomile tea at dinner time, not right before bed. She keeps her sleep position aligned and never skips her pre-bed breathing. Is she perfect? Of course not. But her wake-ups are rare, and her mornings feel brand new. Judith isn't a one-off story. There are thousands like her, seniors who were told to just live with it, and instead found small, natural changes that gave them real results. And that brings us to you. In the next section, we're going to put all the tools together, a simple 3-part nighttime plan that you can try tonight. No appointments, no prescriptions, just natural bladder relief built around how your body actually works when you give it the chance to rest. You've seen the why, you've seen the how. Now let's bring it all together. In one simple 3-part plan you can start using tonight. No gimmicks, no routines that require an extra hour of your day. Just 3 smart habits that work with your body, not against it. Step 1. Align your body for bladder relief. When you lie down, your bladder should feel like it's resting, not bracing. That starts with positioning. Sleep on your side, ideally your left, with a pillow between your knees to keep your hips level. Make sure your top arm isn't collapsing forward, and that your pillow supports your neck without pushing your head too high. This setup relieves pressure from your abdomen, releases tension in your pelvic floor, and reduces false urgency signals. A few inches of better alignment can mean hours more sleep. Step 2. Reset your bladder. Before bed, before climbing under the covers, spend just 60 seconds doing the bladder drop and relax method. Breathe deeply into your belly. On each exhale, feel your lower abdomen soften. Gently lift and release your pelvic muscles 3 to 5 times. Not a squeeze, just a soft signal to your brain. We're calm, we're in control. This short ritual trains your body to hold more comfortably and sleep more soundly. Step 3. Set the mood, not the alarm. Your bladder responds to stress, to overstimulation, to tension. So your job isn't just to empty it, it's to calm it. That means avoiding fluids in the final 90 minutes before sleep, skipping the news, sugar, and bright screens, and instead, winding down with something simple. A soft playlist, dim lights, a warm compress over your belly or lower back. These signals tell your nervous system it's time to let go, not stay alert. This isn't a fix-all, but it is a foundation. And for so many seniors, it's the shift they were never told about. A shift that finally gave them the rest they've been craving. Because better sleep doesn't start with a pill. It starts with a position, a breath, a choice. And the moment you give your bladder the support it needs, it often gives you the peace you've been missing. So here's the challenge. Try it tonight. Just for one night, follow all 3 steps. Then tomorrow, come back and tell us in the comments. Did it make a difference? Did you wake up less groggy? Did you sleep longer? Was your bladder quieter? We read every comment. And we want to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing. We post new videos every week with real, science-backed solutions designed specifically for seniors, to help you feel better, sleep better, and live stronger. You've made it this far. That means you care about your body, you care about your sleep, and you're not waiting around for someone else to fix it. That's where real change begins.